What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down why many tech stocks out there are breaking all-time highs, how the market's looking so far, and some very important levels to be watching for. But let me first mention that I am not a financial planner. Take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Anyways, so when it comes to the data so far, things have been once again looking kind of decent overall, except for the fact that the unemployment rate is still continuing to exceed expectations. This is putting us in a very, very interesting position where the labor market's contracting and the market is still holding up despite that, because of the words of Jerome Powell and the Fed. The market was actually kind of like anticipating unemployment going up. This is not necessarily a surprise. And the market's actually going to continue to pump, considering that it's an election year. Not to mention the facts that the whole soft landing narrative is just continuing to be very strong. So what do I see for the market from here? So basically, SPY's at this 553 area. I'm going to be watching just to see how it ends up reacting to about 553.75 or so. And if that breaks, I'll be watching 554.25 and then 555. The reason why I have very tight levels is because SPY is getting tighter the higher we go, but it's still continuing to slowly climb through resistance. But I'd be very careful, even though it's still pushing up like this. I'd still be careful with the way it's moving. If we were to reject, I'll be looking at support currently around this 552 area, 552.8. That's where we had the pre-market high. If that fails us, we have 552, then 550.5 coming. So make sure you watch these levels. As right now, SPY is pumping very, very nicely, but make sure you watch and see how it reacts to the mid 553s. So that's actually very, very important because of the fact that we're continuing to pump very nicely, and we're continuing to see some very, very nice price action right here. So I'm going to be watching to see, can we try to break above 553.75? I think that the trend is still very, very bullish, but the higher we go, the tougher resistance is getting. It's a very, very nice breakout we have, so there is potential for it to push higher. I'll be watching to see this resistance just to be safe. But overall, SPY is still very bullish. There's no sign of this kind of like rejecting yet, and still favoring bulls. Now for Tesla, we're actually in the middle right now, because Tesla managed to pump all the way up to about the 253 area. Then we ended up kind of rejecting back down to about 242, and now we're back around 246. So we're just all over the place, but we're still kind of struggling to hold above 250. That's going to be our very, very tough resistance. So you can see how this is still affecting Tesla. If we were to lose support at 245.4, I'll be looking at 242.5. If we break through resistance at 248, we'll be looking for essentially this 250 area. But overall, there is a bit of a downtrend that could be starting here, a very small one, for a little bit of a dip before Tesla continues higher again. Tesla's still bullish nonetheless, so make sure you watch the levels and see how it ends up moving from here. For Nvidia, we're still holding up very well. I want to see if we can try to close above 127 or not. If we can hold above that, I'll be looking for a target of 130 next week. If we end up failing at 127, I'll be looking for a dip to 125. Overall, we're holding up well, so we'll just have to see how it goes. For Bitcoin, we're actually pushing very nice. We got a nice bounce off this support around this 54,000 area. I'm watching resistance around 57,000. That's previous support becoming resistance. If this breaks, we're going all the way up to about 58,500. If we reject off 57,000, we'll be coming back down. So I'll be looking for a big test of 57,000 to see if we reject or not. But overall, we're holding up very, very well. For the QQQ, we're on a very, very nice breakout. I'll be watching to see if we could try to close above 495. If we do so and break 496, I think that we could be getting close to 498 and eventually 500. Overall, it does look like it's trying to get closer to 500, but let's see if we can try to hold above this. I think very close to 496, we have this resistance that's getting tougher. The closer we get to this level, the tougher it's going to be. If we were to reject, I'll be looking at 494 as critical support, so we'll have to see if this holds. But so far, guys, the market's actually doing a great job. It's holding up very well, and we'll have to see how things go. For Aapl is on a very, very nice looking uptrend. We're actually pushing up nicely. If we break through this resistance right here, we could continue to push. I'll be looking for 227 as the next target all the way up here. We also have support down here at 224, so we'll just have to see how it reacts. But Apple's looking more bullish. If we manage to hold above 225 for close, our next target is 227. As of right now, it's looking very strong, but just be careful with this resistance because it's a new all-time high. I'm going to give it some time, but just know that Apple's still looking more bullish. For Supermicro, we attempted to break through this trend line, then came back down. So this is actually the trend line, which is acting as our resistance. So we kind of struggled to hold through this. Watch resistance right here around this 840 area. If we reject here, we're going to be dipping all the way down towards 820. Losing that turns us more bearish. If we manage to hold above 840, we could turn back to bullish. But so far, we're kind of in the middle. So I'm going to give this some time just to be safe. For Coin has this gap to fill. We're actually pushing very nicely to fill this gap. But now we're watching a big test right now. We actually have this white trend line. This is previous support becoming resistance. So this is actually a very nice setup. If it rejects here and fails to hold above this, we could be looking for another dip all the way down to 216 and eventually 212. If we break above this, I'll be looking for 224. If that breaks, we turn bullish. So I'm just going to have to give this some time just to see how things progress. For Amazon, we have a, kind of like a nice little range right here. We have 200 as resistance, 197.5 as support, and then 202 as the next level. If we close above 200 going into next week, we could easily go up to about this 202 area. If not, we're just kind of stuck within our range. So just be careful on Amazon. We'll just have to see how it goes. For Meta, we got a nice breakout all the way up to about 535. Our support to watch for is at 530, followed by 527. So I'll be watching to see how will we hold. We're just shuffling around 530. Could dip a little bit more to about 527, but then I'll be watching to see what kind of reaction we get. For Microsoft, we're pushing up to 466. If this breaks, I'll be looking at 468. And we have key support at 464. If that breaks, we turn bearish. As of right now, it looks more bullish. It looks like it wants to go up to about 468. Google's also holding up nicely. I'll be looking at 192 as resistance. If this rejects, we'll be dipping back down towards 190. But we're looking more bullish, at least so far. With that being said, guys, I want to thank you all so much for listening. Please have an absolutely incredible rest of the day. And just notes that the market is remaining quite bullish. We have the memes like GameStop and AMC kind of just like shuffling right now, not really doing much. I want to see if GameStop could try to break past 26. That will help us turn more bullish. Otherwise, we're just choppy. Same thing with AMC. I want to be watching to see if we can break past 5.3. Otherwise, we're still kind of chopping around. So there's not really a whole lot else going on. By the way, SPY is breaking out right now. We're actually trying to hold above our resistance, testing 553.75. We could get very close to 554.25 if that breaks. So far, it's looking bullish, guys. The market is still very bullish, holding up very well. Some tickers like Tesla are a little bit lackluster today, but that's just today we're talking about. If you look at the last month, Tesla's still up over 40%. Tesla's up like crazy still, so don't worry too much. It is due for like a sideways day as we pumped so much. So it's doing quite well, and so is the market. So with that being said, don't really worry too much about like where Tesla is. Tesla's doing just fine, guys. It has so much more upside later on down the line. So with that being said, I just want to thank you all for listening. I hope you guys have an absolutely incredible rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of the week and enjoy the holiday that's coming up. I'll be back in about 2 hours for another update video. But I just want to wish everyone the best and hope you guys do very, very well. So watch the levels I called out. Know that the market does have a tougher resistance approaching, but it's still holding up well. It's very resilient and still favoring the bulls. And they're the ones who have the edge, at least for now. Just watch resistance and see how we go. And until then, just play the levels and be very, very patient in a market like this. All right. Thank you for listening. I'll see you guys in 2 hours and peace out.